like from the Wayne's World. Have you seen Wayne's World?
I have. It's been a long time, so I'm not fresh on the.
Oh, they do the 5, 4. And the guy's like, why don't you say 3, like 2 and 1? He's like, you don't say 2. And it was like, anyways, the whole thing. It was great. Yeah. I love that movie.
That's a perfect intro into this. It's funny. I feel like there's a really good moment when you kind of get outside of your normal elements to really reflect. And for you right now, it's moving down to the basement and having a new office location. For me, I'm back in my parents' house for the week, and it's been nice to like really think back and reflect on, obviously what we're thankful for given the time of year it is, but just where we are and what we're trying to do next. So it's been a really nice moment for me to sit back and think through, the people and that have really helped us get to where we are and prepare us for where we're going. So obviously, John, you and I, we're here home every day, most every day, and we see our wives, and I think they're the first people that we really think of who we're thankful for, right? They're the ones who deal with all the ups and downs of our days of the entrepreneurial life, et cetera, and they enable us to really go pursue our dreams, and obviously they're here with us throughout, which is awesome.
For sure.
Can't be more thankful for that. I also feel like look at the broader family too of my parents and obviously yours, but just for helping to teach us to be curious and really prepare us for this lifelong journey that we're going to be on individually and obviously now together, but can't thank them more than we do. So maybe they'll watch this, but it'd be more important telling them later in person. And then, like the rest of our family just really supporting us. And there's a lot of different ways. I know, for example, my boys, they have to deal with me working a lot, and they come in the office and they want to play and do other things. And just having that patience while we work through this is, it's incredible and valuable. And obviously never perfect, but love how they show up for it every day. So those are some of the people I'm thankful for. Obviously that's mostly our family looking at, but there's obviously a lot more people that really support us and surround us as we've been going after this. Anyone come to mind for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be the team, right? We have, a great team around us, specifically Michael and Anil, our developers, right from the beginning, locked into the mission and the vision, and have had to learn a lot of new stuff, as we kind of all figuring out like the technology and, their all-inness and willingness to ideate with us and strategize with us and be part of the whole process has just been, more than I think we could probably deserve to ask for. And so I'm really thankful for them. And I'm also really thankful for our partnership with Value Labs. They've brought forth some phenomenal cyber research talent that's helping us in a lot of really meaningful, impactful ways. And that team, again, is all in with us, locked into the mission, is very just knowledgeable and experienced, but also, very willing to step outside their comfort zone, try new things, and go with us on this journey. I wasn't sure that we were going to get that, and I've just been constantly surprised with, how great of a partnership we've been able to establish with them.
I totally agree. I think one of the things I've read from someone who's farther along in their entrepreneurial journey is, every day is just a slow grind of trying to get like 1% better, or just continue to progress. And I think we've seen that from our team and also from the broader, more part-time folks around us, more of the advisors who really surround us, and they've guided us and help us to enable us to execute, figure out what to focus on, what does matter, and really help to guide us along our path. Because it's great to think of all the things we could do, but now what should we be doing and actually going to do those? And all those team members and advisors helping us along that way. We also have several investors. They took a big leap believing in us. Obviously, many of them knew us before, but that belief has been huge because that's what keeps us going. That's part of our why is those people individually. And then you look at the other folks that we've been interacting with along our kind of our product journey here is our customer champions. Being really thankful for their willingness to adopt a new solution, take a chance on us personally, take a chance on us as a company, and also giving us feedback on how we should get better, how we can better solve the problem, and a lot of this very specific things with how they deal with things in their normal lives and at work, and how we can infuse that into what we're doing. So I don't know about you, but to me, I'm the imposter coming into the cyber community. I don't have imposter syndrome, I'm just an imposter. And I found it to be a very incredible community to join. It's very open and engaging. There's a high willingness, I believe, that I've seen so far of people being willing to help startups solve industry problems, help other companies teach best practices and share the ideas of what they're seeing. It truly has been a very much a huge community, and obviously the great network effects for a lot of things.
I think specifically, you always like to talk about like peers helping peers at companies and organizations that like feel like they should be natural rivals. And at the cyber team level, they're all, best friends or pretty close to, really great friends and collaborating in really deep and meaningful ways. That being in the industry, I'm not sure that I always appreciate that didn't happen or doesn't happen in other places. But it's a great, great benefit of cyber.
I totally agree. I think being in a couple of other industries myself, I think it does happen in other places too. It's obviously not a 0 to 1 coming here, but I think just the consistency has been incredible. I've been to several different types of events, regional, local. I've met people individually, and this consistency throughout has been pretty incredible. So what you see, obviously, you think, cyber analysts, engineers, leaders, you've got this like passion for cyber. You've got all these different kind of aspects of from like the archetype of what you'd think those people would be. Those are all true, and but it's just the consistency of it across there. That I think I've seen also the perseverance of those folks dealing with a lot of the issues that we see and talk about. Of there's always this constant threat. There's always these overwhelming challenges, including the whole volume of alerts that we talk about daily. But people just being consistent in their perseverance and passion for the work and the why. I think that's been a pretty incredible thing that is the foundation, I believe, of the overall community. And it's been awesome to come into because it's obviously new for me. And so I'm really thankful for this opportunity being in this specific community.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm really thankful is like the broader startup ecosystem that exists. I think it's, truism that people like to pass around that there's never been a better time to start a company. And certainly, that's true in terms of how cost effective it can be to start a company, particularly one that's, primarily based in software with, cloud. But then there's also a lot of, big organizations. We're benefiting a lot from Microsoft for Startups, helping out with providing us infrastructure and other capabilities to help us, get going and build out our capability, obviously within their platform. But, the amount of assistance that they can and do provide is really impactful when you're a small company that's trying to get going. And the amount of, books and podcasts and access to people who are really experienced and also can react live to the current shifting landscape. I also, I like to be the person who is thankful for rainy days because I like to say because they make the sunny days that much better. And certainly, this time last year to now, there's some negativity around, where the economy and the landscape of, growth-based companies is going. But I think in a lot of ways, that's such a huge benefit for us because we don't have to unwind, the undisciplined principles and, we don't have to live under the burden of, huge capital raises at valuations that, are fundamentally different than they are today. And we get to, try to be one of those companies that, build something great in a downturn. And, everybody likes to say, and again, it's because it's topical. right now, but great companies are built in a downturn, and sometimes things happen for a reason and are the way that they're supposed to be. And I think that this is a really great moment for us and a really great, ecosystem around us to help us have the best chance to be successful.
Totally agree. And the word discipline used there has been something I've personally struggled with a lot of my life. And, but I think something that our careers have really built and instilled in us, from a professional standpoint of, you mentioned like the discipline around how we actually operate, because it's continuous and it's throughout. So just looking back at all the mentors and all the experience we've had to date in our careers, really been able to help us get to where we are, but also be ready for the next things and how we actually deal with the problems we face each day. To me, it's been invaluable. And obviously, we probably over framework and whiteboard things sometimes, just biasing towards what we've done previously, but it's really helps us to have a very, given that we've had different backgrounds and experiences, helps us to connect much faster on those. And to me, that's also then, I think, probably the last thing I'm really thankful for is obviously, John, you first thought of me to join us on Adventure, and now we're on it together. And for how much we challenge each other and think through things, now that everything's perfect, and sure, I frustrate you sometimes and vice versa, right? But the pushing each other to keep being better and keep learning has been something I'm really thankful for.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, I was a man in a van and a dream. And then when you came on board, we became a company. And, the value of your experience and energy and, analytic capability and just so many wonderful attributes. The other thing that was really beneficial, especially in those days, the journey of you going from, hey, this person I know is approaching me with an idea, to the process of, trying to understand if there's something real. That journey was also helpful for me, because as you're going through and, replaying the data points that you capture on, market opportunity and the problem space and viability of solutions and stuff like that, like I'm listening intently too, because those are things that, I probably more intuitively thought I knew. But you also live in that echo chamber bias bubble. And so hearing your journey was validating for me. And, really helpful perspective that I got a lot of value out of. So, even the process leading up to when I like to say I was twisting your arm to join was really valuable. And then, just the impact that you've had here is,
well, thanks.
I couldn't overstate.
I'm thankful that it's that we're not on that zombie path, right? Where things are good enough and okay. And, I'm thankful that we believe that there is a good path for whatever that means ahead of us in terms of all the people and all the things we mentioned before, but just the problem space, the solution, the opportunity that's there, and the fact that cyber is just evolving so fast, and there isn't one right best thing, so we can be a part of it. Yeah.
Well, Trevor, thanks for putting this together. I think we certainly do have a lot to be thankful for, and I hope you enjoy Thanksgiving with your family and eat too much turkey and take a nap, and then, get right back to it. We got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely. Well, sounds good. Thanks, John. Have a good time too with you, Rachel, and others.
Yeah. All right. Talk soon.